Hello everyone, my name is Protesilaos, also known as Prot. In this video I want to show you some of the work I am doing. I am in front of the entrance to the hut, it's right there. And over there is the gate that I have built from where we can enter the area. And what I am doing here is I am chipping away at the mountain. I am removing soil from the slope here, and I will redistribute this soil. You see, I already have done some work over there earlier today, and I am redistributing this soil to reinforce some parts that need extra land, basically extra soil. And in the process of doing this, I will also plant two walnut trees, one right here and one down there. And the idea is for the walnut trees to grow eventually in a few years and cast their shade here so that I can sit on this at this spot. So without further ado, let me show you some of the work I am doing, and you will get the idea. And I think I will also plant one of the walnut trees, the other I will leave it for later. So the idea is to just dig, and then once it is softened, to drag it away from the slope and then continue chipping away at the mountain. So in effect, this is a way to move the mountain a little bit further and to redistribute the soil. This is the idea. While I am doing this, I want to talk about desert. And desert has the meaning of deserve. I deserve, you deserve. I get what I deserve. And what I want to say about desert is the sense of entitlement we may have in life. The sense that we deserve stuff. That, oh, look, I do all this work, therefore I should be getting something in return. And this is a really strong feeling that we have. And if we don't get what we think we deserve, what we believe we are entitled to, then we feel disappointed and we feel desperate. We are like cursing at the gods, at the heavens, and we're like, why am I not getting what I deserve? Look at me here. I do all this hard work. Why isn't it being acknowledged? Why am I not being repaid? That sort of thing. One of my dogs is barking, so it's probably nothing, but we will see. And so we wave our fist at the heavens and we're like, give me what I deserve. And I think this is misplaced. This sense of entitlement stems from a misunderstanding or a falsehood. And that is the falsehood of egocentrism. Namely, the idea that the world revolves around you. So first, let's understand egocentrism a little bit. At the base level, it is our reality, because our reality is subjective. Everything around me is relative to me. And so what I see, what I hear, what I touch, it's always with me as the subject. Now my other dog is also barking, so at least they are both contributing to the effort. So at the basic level, egocentrism is our default way of being. It's how we understand the world. However, the subjective perspective that we have does not mean that the world was made for us, that the world revolves around us, that everything happens for a reason that is specific to us, and everything sort of anticipates our every movement and reacts according to what we are doing in conformity with our wishes or against them or whatever. but always in reaction to us, like with us as the constant. And this cannot be. This cannot be how the world is, because if I am the center of the world, and you are the center of the world, and everybody is the center of the world, eventually there will be conflicting wants. And this cannot be, this polycentrism cannot be sustained. It cannot be the case objectively. So at the basic level, egocentrism is okay. There is nothing wrong with it at the basic level. But when it manifests as this sense of entitlement, this sense of desert, of, well, nature owes me stuff, like the gods should be doing things for me. If we frame it this way, then I think it is no longer benign or innocuous. It becomes self-destructive. And the reason it becomes self-destructive is because instead of carrying out our life organically, the way everything in the world is organically developing, instead of doing that, we have a transactional outlook. So everything we do it as if it is a give and take. So I give some work, you see here, God, I put some work, and I expect God to give me something back. And so, of course, this is not what is happening. This is not what is happening at all. I do some work, and I might get something back, I might not get something back. And if I get something, it may not be what I was hoping for. So it cannot be a transaction in the sense we are used to in interpersonal affairs, in human affairs. This is not some market where we are selling services or deeds, let's say, and we are getting rewards in return. The world does not operate in this way. And if you are a believer in some god or gods or whatever, it also is kind of a way to mock the divine, because you are like reducing the divine to basically some kind of a money man, some kind of a business person. And that's a very low view of the divine. Like, the divine should be up there, it shouldn't be your business partner. But treating the divine as your business partner means that this is now your highest value. You are not aspiring to something greater. You are not aspiring to something higher, something more noble. It's just another transaction in the totality of transactions that unfold, that happen in your life. And this is not a way to elevate yourself beyond the everyday affairs, beyond the world of transactions, as it were. If we were to reduce the everyday affairs, we could say that basically it's the transactions that we do with other people. Of course, simplifying now, but basically that's what it comes down to. So you have that view of the divine or of nature. It doesn't have to be couched in religious terminology. It can be of nature in a more secular way. So you have that view of nature or of the divine, which is reducing it to just your business partner. It's just another thing of the same, more of the same. And because you have reduced it in this way, you fail to understand it. And think of nature, for example. I will now plant a walnut tree, okay? And trees will not grow the way you want or at the pace you want. They will grow, if they grow, when the circumstances are such for them to grow in the manner that they will grow and to the extent that they will grow. In other words, whatever is to happen will happen organically. It cannot be forced. And if it is forced, it is not sustainable. As soon as you remove the intervention, it will default to its own mechanism. It will default to its own patterns. And so, by observing nature now, or by understanding the world out there for what it is, not as a business partner, understanding the world out there means that we come to terms with its actuality. We come to terms with what it actually is. And what it is life, the continuum of life, with patterns inherent to it, which will grow or develop or become something else in a process that is outside the realm of our volition. So it will grow or it will not grow despite our wishes. Or if it is with our intervention, it will be also with its own mechanisms and our intervention involved. So in a sense, the world has agency. We are not the only ones who are agents of action, agents of some reasonable end. The world also has ends. Things have ends. The tree has its own ends, and so on for everything. And maybe we don't have the conscience to understand the greater organisms in the cosmos, because we can only understand the organisms that we are closer to, such as humans and maybe dogs and a few like these, but we cannot understand the emergence of life at levels of interplay beyond our own. So we can understand how, for example, a system of systems, such as the human being, manifests conscience and manifests reasonableness and manifests emotion and so on. But we cannot understand a system of systems such as a forest, a system of systems such as an ocean, a system of systems such as the forest in tandem with the ocean and the sky, and so on for the earth, and so on for the solar system, and so on for the galaxy, and you get the idea. The point is that this misplaced entitlement, this sense of desert, obscures what is out there. It makes it all about ourselves. It makes it all about my little wants, and nothing else matters. And I, like a petulant child, will be there kicking and screaming, waving my fist at the heavens, complaining to God and saying, hey, give me what I want. I want it here. I want it now. Why? Because I think I am special. Well, guess what? This is not how the world works. And so, once we take a step back, once we let go of this falsehood of the world, the cosmos, revolving around our selfhood, once we let go of that, we start to treat the world for what it is. And so, when we do something, we understand that it is an action that happens in a given place. Phew, sorry. I ate some dirt. Phew. Okay, better. So it's something that happens in a given place at a given time, and thus it is a function of the place and of the time. It is a function of the prevailing conditions, or at least it is informed, influenced, framed, or otherwise conditioned by the environment, by the milieu, by the factors in their interplay. And this is a long way of saying that whatever will happen, or whatever happens rather, happens organically. You cannot force the world to conform with your will. There is no way of doing that. And if you subscribe to some modern day ideology which promises to do that, for example, there is this self-help industry nowadays, and there is this modern day pop culture view of stoicism, for example, which is basically a way of saying that you can do whatever you want. Just formulate your wish and work hard for it, and basically you do it. Like, it's only a matter of rigging the system, of applying this life hack, as it were, and then the world will yield to your wishes. And of course, this is not surprising why such views are popular, why such views find currency in our world, why this industry is apparently thriving. It is because everything we do is transactional. So, of course, it makes total sense for us, for the divine, for the cosmos, for nature, to also be a partner in our transactions. Such is our hubris. Such is the level of our misunderstanding. And so, what I say is, let go. Let go of this notion. Let go of the idea that the world is just an object which is an expression of your will, the outward manifestation of your innermost thoughts. Let go of this notion. The world is not there for you. The world is there despite you. And there will be cases where the world will appear to be giving you something. But there will also be cases, for sure, where the world will appear to be taking something away from you. And on the balance, the world will be neither good nor bad. Because good or bad, this binary, only applies to a small subset of phenomena. Phenomena which pertain to human affairs. So, for example, today is the 1st of February, 2025. And while it is really cold, so you can feel the winter, it is not raining. So, of course, I may wave my fist at the heavens, at the gods, the weather gods, and be like, hey, what are you doing? I need water. I am planting trees. I am doing stuff. What are you doing? You will kill me here. And I can say, oh, look, this is really bad. But it is neither good nor bad. The clouds, the weather, just is. It is a complex system the interplay of those multitude of factors, the innumerable factors, will produce states of affairs that you cannot control. And so this just is. It is neither good nor bad. What you have to do is understand how the world will behave independent of your volition, and then to adapt to it, to learn to gracefully cope with what is happening, and to basically say, okay, thank God for what is, and I will cope with what is. By the way, now, just to put the pause there. I will dig here to place the tree, and then I will dig this mountain, but then I will do that later. So thank God. Thank God for what I have, or for what I have been through. And I am learning something in the process. I am learning, for example, how things happen organically, how I can only ever go with the flow of what is happening. I cannot make the world change its direction or change its perspective, as it were, to be focused on me, to be there waiting in anticipation, holding its breath, as it were, be like, oh, what is Prot doing? Now, give him what he wants. I cannot expect that. And thus, I can be thankful that through experiences in life, I have become a little bit more enlightened, a little bit more thoughtful in recognizing that indeed the world will develop organically. And so no matter how I am pushing and pulling and puffing, it doesn't matter. The best I can hope for is for me to be ready, is for me to be prepared to rise to the occasion if the opportunity is provided. This is the best I can hope for. But I cannot make the world give me the opportunity whenever I feel like. That won't happen. So, this is basically what I had to say, folks. And once we have this outlook, we will no longer feel upset when we don't get what we think we deserve. We will be content, and we will be like, okay, so be it. I got something, or I didn't get something, but whatever the case, I am here, and I experienced it, and with the right mindset, I can understand, and I can grow regardless. Finally, folks, I will close with this, which is an ancient Greek saying that we use in modern day Greece as well, or in modern Greek, let's say. And this expression loosely translates as, there is no thing in the world which is purely bad. Everything that happens has inside of it some good. So good or bad are mixed together. So nothing is purely good, nothing is purely bad. And in Greek, the actual phrase is ουδέν κακόν αμυγές καλού. Ουδέν κακόν αμυγές καλού. And this literally means no bad, not mixed with good. Okay? So this is the literal meaning. And what the ancient Greeks were basically saying is that whatever happens in the world will never be purely good or purely bad. So you shouldn't get too excited when things are going your way, and you shouldn't get too disappointed when things are not going your way, because the world will give you both. That's for sure. And so you have to be prepared to deal with both, and you have to be equanimous in this case. Your mindset must be that of tranquility. Your mindset must be that of tolerating the world, of accepting the world for what it is, not for what you want it to be, not for what you think it ought to be. That is not the world's problem. That is your problem. You have to take the world for what it actually is. The world as is. The world as an admixture of good and of bad, and of everything in between. So let me plant the walnut tree here, folks. And when you do that, you will no longer feel disappointed. You will no longer be susceptible to the vicissitudes of the world, the ups and downs of the world, the instability around you. Instead, you will be more balanced. You will be more relaxed, as it were. And you will be taking the world and what the world gives you, you will be taking it the way it actually is. Instead of arguing with it, instead of arguing with God, why do you give me drought? What's the point? What's the point? There is a reason for it. You shouldn't be asking. Just deal with it. And if there is drought, and if there is flood, and if there is everything in between. And that's the point. So, folks, we are done here. Let me just plant a couple of those canes, and I am done with this. Then I will take the soil from here and move it elsewhere where I need it. But let's put these here as well. And I will come and water this, of course, but I will do that after the video. So let's put this here. Beautiful. That's it, folks. So I will continue with the work, but you don't need to see it. You get the idea. The plan is to shave off a part of the mountain, and then with the wheelbarrow there, with the hand cart, to redistribute the soil in various parts where I need to reinforce the ground. And so this is the project. This is my work, and always I take the world for what it is. Be it drought, be it flood, be it everything in between, and I will always be calm as a result. Thank you very much for your attention, folks. Take care, and goodbye for now. Bye-bye.